Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Noble 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you will love this vibe, and everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This could be past, present, or future, you or someone around you. So take the resonates and leave the rest for someone else. Why? Because this is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, check out the description below, and I'll be happy to assist you with doing so. Remember that tarot is a tool, it is not the final rule. It is a good idea to have an empty cup when you are on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up, okay? Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you for your likes, shares, and subscribing. Thank you for utilizing these messages on my channel, whether it is a poem, a motivational speech, or encouragement, or a read, whatever I post. The only intentions are to intrigue a spark within you that will intrigue you to pivot in a direction that is for your highest good at the right time that you choose. At the right time that you choose, not that I choose. So there are no other intentions here on this channel. Everything is spiritually led. I trust that you are here upon free will and free choice, okay? Be sure to have an empty cup. If I haven't said that, when you are on Lady Noble's channel, you really want to see what's up. I received a download, and I thought I wasn't going to speak on this, but I received it again as I was preparing to start this video. And the message is, look at the cool kids now. Look at the cool kids now. Now, I've said that phrase on my channel a lot. Everybody wants to be with the cool kids. Everyone wants to follow what's trendy. Well, I received a download more than once, which is confirmation for me to pass it along. Look at the cool kids now. So Spirit is saying to look around you, if you are looking outside of you and comparing yourself. It's not a good idea to do that. But if you want to compare yourself and be motivated and inspired to work on yourself and not focus on those things outside of you, people, places, and things, and learn to trust that all that you desire, all that is required is within you. And so it's time for you to tap into your innate abilities. It's time for you to tap into your originality. Spirit is saying, look at the cool kids, those who desire to follow what is trendy, those who wanted to do what was cool, those who wanted to be the flyest, those who were worried about persona and image, whether we're speaking of celebrities, whether we're talking about everyday people, common folk, 9-to-5ers, the cool kids on many levels. Spirit is saying, take time. If you are going to look and compare yourself, or even if be observant, even if you're not comparing, if you want to be inspired to move your life in a positive direction, look at the repercussion of the cool kids. Look where following trends has gotten people. Look where using your influence to be overbearing and control and provoke situations that are unethical and unreasonable to human beings. Look where the cool kids are now. And so what Spirit is saying that is that we can learn a lesson. We can learn a lot through observation from when we see things in social media or we hear about people we may know, whether these are family members, friends, co-workers, neighbors, doesn't matter. Going through different circumstances. Those who, were once at a time considered to be this or that, or maybe they held themselves on a pedestal, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being confident. There's nothing wrong with having material things, wearing name brands. But those who obtain and maintain by stepping on the backs of others, mistreating or misusing others, that's what Spirit is talking about. So look at the cool kids now and look at the repercussion of the cool kids. They are not in a position that they are proud of, that they are happy to be experiencing. And we can learn from observation, rather than say, ooh, that's terrible. That's, we really can learn, we can observe and say, well, you know what? I'm not perfect. Life is not perfect, but this is something that I'm going to try to avoid on my own journey. So Spirit is clearly conveying not to be a follower, continue to be a leader, continue to be unique, continue to be yourself, be willing to be different, be willing to, when they roam, be still. When they're still, it's a good time is to roam, okay? All right? When they roam, be still. When they are still, it's a good time for you to roam. It's not always a good idea or a bright idea to do what everyone else is doing. Just because everyone is going in one direction doesn't mean you have to go in the same. You can choose total opposite. You can choose a path less traveled. You can choose an idea that has not been expressed. Keep being the example of what has not been seen. Yeah, collective. Keep being the example of what has not been seen. So this reading is for someone who's an individual, confident within themselves, love who they are inside and out, not trying to dim their light for anyone, takes pleasure in being an individual, in being unique. You just love who you are. You love life, and you make no apologies for being you, whether it's through your fashion, how you talk, how you walk, your belief system, whether you are religious, whether you're into spirituality, um, whatever it is, okay? And the analogy I always use, whether you like to wear plaid and polka dot every day, hey, that's okay. That's fly. Maybe you like to mix polka dot with plaid clothing, and guess what? That's fly. If that's you and that's what you like, that's fly. You need not to be like anyone else. And those who tend to pass judgment on other people for being who they are, for being unique, for being an individual, those are people who are stuck in an indoctrination system. They're under programming anyway. So these are people you need not to fluster yourself with. You need not to be overwhelmed about. Allow people to have their opinions, and just continue to live your life. And a lot of times, people, when it comes to misjudging people, there are a lot of people I'm picking up who are learning that they have made some mistakes, collective, when it comes to judging you. There are some people who have misjudged you. They may not admit this to you. They may not tell you, but there are a lot of people who are observing you, and they're very regretful. I'm hearing someone say, "I'm sorry." They regret how they treated you, things they said about you, even thoughts that they've had about you, very negative thoughts. Maybe they've even slandered your character, lied on you, lied on your name, and they are feeling very regretful for what they have allowed themselves to provoke or project onto you. Okay, provoke, provoke, provoke. So maybe you've had some kind of altercation or some kind of situation where someone tried to provoke a situation onto you. Okay, this could be. All right, you know, but continue, with the Ace of Wands to stand in authority. Your spirit team is clearly saying you're on the right path. Stand in your authenticity, keep being a unique individual, keep being different. You do not have to do what everyone else is doing. Those who are under, that indoctrination program, who wants to go along to get along, who believes everything that they see on the light vision, who wants to just do what everyone else is doing. If they're not following someone or something, they feel like it's out of order. There are people who feel like if they don't have someone or something to follow, that it's impossible to live a life that is sufficient, where they are happy wholeheartedly and able to thrive. But Spirit is saying, let those people be them, but don't allow them to distort your value and your view of who you are. And so this reading is clearly conveying, to learn from looking at the followers. They're not the cool kids are not in a good place. I just keep hearing that. Look at the cool kids now. They're not in a good place. Maybe someone has mocked you, made fun of you, teased you, talked about you, your children, maybe your parenting, maybe your aesthetics, just maybe how you carry yourself overall. It happens, doesn't matter what age you are. It happens to children in school. It happens to teenagers, and then adults, gets into infantile behavior where they choose to judge and poke and pry with people. But yeah, those people who thought they were the ish, on all levels, not just celebrities, are dealing with situations right now. And these situations aren't to cause harm, but these situations are lessons to be learned. Okay, so everyone has their karma to endure. Everyone has their dharma to endure. We're here to learn lessons. We're here to grow. You may have someone maybe that you work with, or someone in your family who's considered to be arrogant. Maybe they're very snobby towards you. Or snobby towards the family periodically. Okay, maybe it's that one relative who everything someone does, they try to shoot it down. They consider it to be not good enough, not perfect enough. And there's no such thing as perfect. So Don't let these things bother you, but learn from the lesson. Spirit is saying clearly with the Queen of Swords here, you could have Taurus here in your chart, but the Queen of Swords is someone who is very mindful, guarding their heart, but not with anxiety. This energy here is someone guarding their heart because they have learned the lesson, and that's why he or she is on the throne, because the lessons have been learned, and they're sitting on the throne in reflection with the sword at her side here. But the sword is just a reminder. It's just like oh, I was going to say a relic. Okay, a relic. Okay. Of what she has been through, a reminder of how the throne was earned. Anyone who sits on the throne has earned the right of passage to be there. There have been some input, to earn the ability to be in that position as a queen. Male or female, gender is fluid in tarot, but either way, yes, she is in reflection mode and just being mindful, not anxious, not furious, but being mindful of who moving forward that she allows into her space. Okay, she or he allows into their space or into their life. And it's not about being paranoid, but being mindful and knowing how to only reside with those who are part of your tribe. We cannot control others, we can only control ourselves. So when people choose to pass judgment onto you and misjudge you and they don't know you at all, Spirit is saying let it be, because they will learn the lesson, in their own time about misjudging people. They will learn the repercussions, and they will learn when the time is right for them. So you don't have to sit with a looking glass, wondering like, okay, when will Auntie stop coming over and criticizing, or when my uncle stopped being so tough? They will get their lesson to be learned in due time. But Spirit wants you to know that it's okay to be unique and be you, and don't apologize for it, and don't change who you are. Okay. We are not put here to imitate and duplicate each other's lives, and we don't need to do everything the same way. It would be actually foolish if we were to do everything the same way. It really would. It wouldn't make any sense if we all were just copying each other and doing everything the same way. How would we learn from each other? How would we even experience that there are new ideas, new ways of being, doing, or thinking? How will we know these things if we mocked everything that we saw? Okay. And so the next card we have here is the King of Cups energy. And this here is balance and creativity. So stay within your creativity. Make sure you're maintaining your balance, in your life, staying balanced, not allowing different opinions of people or the observations of people around you. Okay. This is not just with celebrities. This is with family and friends as well. Do not let it waver you. Someone will always have something to say. Opinions are like we all have one, okay? Everyone's going to always have an opinion, but don't waste your time or your energy allowing these things to get you upset or wanting to change. If you got a shirt that everyone teases you about and it's your favorite shirt, and if you like wearing it every Monday, Spirit is saying go ahead and wear it every Monday, okay? Who cares what they're going to say? Let them talk, okay? All right? Their energy will dissipate, okay? The energy of the foolish will dissipate, okay? So they want you to stand in authority, okay? Look at the cool kids now. Your spirit team wants you to stand in authority and not waver from who you are, okay? We all have been given a massive dose of truth, when it comes to labels and brands and just about everything, different things that we consume. Okay, I won't name anything particularly, but just catch it as I throw it. Different things that we consume. The veil has been lifted. We have all received our dose of reality. Doesn't matter what your belief system is, all are welcome on this channel. But we know now that the things that many of us were worshiping, we were purchasing and accomplishing and allowing it to value us, and we were able to obtain it. We know that these things don't even hold the value that we were thinking that it held. We now know the truth about a lot of things. So, Spirit is also saying, now that you know the truth, what will you do with that? Okay. You know that these material things hold no value. These are just extras. These are just, part of the blessing. These are just additives of why you are here in the matrix, things that you are privy to experience. But these are not things for you to collect, obtain, maintain, and allow them to place a value on your worth of who you are or the people around you. You have now received the truth and the reality that they hold no value. So going forward, how will you move? How will this affect you in a positive way? Spirit is saying, will you be less likely to maybe circulate so much cash on these things that hold no value? Um, will you do less idolization when it comes to these material things? Okay. Not saying that it's not okay to look nice, do that, but, make sure that you're making changes that are for the better for you personally. Because all of the people who thought they were cool because, they had $300 gym shoes, or they're able to maintain a particular lifestyle, they're now finding out they've all been bamboozled. So nothing's more painful. Spirit is saying they are receiving a lot of people worldwide on different levels, the truth, a major dose of truth. And yeah, many feel cheated. Many feel, yeah, bamboozled, cheated, lied to, they've been betrayed, so the rug of truth is being placed up under people's feet, whether they like it or not, whether they want to accept it or not. It's okay to love name brand handbags. Okay, you can collect as many as you want, but there are people who have went into debt over purchasing these items, these things. There are people who have maxed out their credit cards. There are people who are arguing with their spouse over, shopping here, shopping there. There are, cases that are in court. People are going through divorces from overspending on these items and these things. I can go on and on. There's many reasons for us here, on planet Earth to redirect our energy and our attention and stop misappropriating our energy in the wrong places. We need not to focus it so much on maintaining material goods and rely more on the spiritual. Begin to work on yourself, pouring into yourself, learning how to genuinely, wholeheartedly love yourself without things, not to say you can't purchase them, but learn to loving all of you without those things, not valuing yourself based on how many you have. Okay. Because at this point, it doesn't matter how many you have, you've been cheated anyway. So moving on. It's just a fact. Okay. And so the next card we have here is the Three of Wands. Okay. So now this is it right here. Okay. So Spirit is saying, so now what? You have your truth. You have your clarity. We all have our clarity. So what will you do moving forward? Now, it doesn't have to be anything like a list of 10 things that you're going to change, or it could be your perception of life, of how you judge life, of how you judge people, of what you consider to be valuable. Do you place your value in these material items that you have obtained and, you've maybe been overcharged for, okay, throughout the years, many decades, will you put your attention in other places of your life? Will you work more on, maybe getting into gardening or something? Maybe that's something you want to try. Maybe you're someone to say, look, I don't know nothing about gardening. I ain't never done it, but you know what? I'm going to do some research on it. I heard that I can garden inside and outside my home, but you know what? Let me do some research, that kind of energy. What will you do different for you or for you and your family? And so Spirit wants our attention focused there, because now they're saying, once again, look at the cool kids, look at the followers, those who were doing everything that was trendy, those who were instructing the masses aka you and I, to do and pursue certain things that really hold nothing but illusional gain. Material wealth is illusional gain anyway. It is not sustainable to the soul. Its value depreciate within seconds. It's just like a kid wanting a particular toy on Christmas, and within the first hour, that toy is in the corner and forgotten about. They probably asked for it for like 3-4 months. You stood in line. For those who celebrate hula days, everyone does not celebrate the hula days, but you're like, wait a minute, you asked for this toy. I didn't wait in line. I didn't search for it. Where is that toy I bought? And they don't know where the toy at. Or you find it. It's probably under the bed, or what, better yet, it's in pieces. The kid has forgot all about the toy. It's in the corner. It's forgotten about. So, yeah, material gain is illusional wealth. It is not sustainable. When you learn your true worth, you're walking in your purpose. You know who you are. You know what's more valuable, which is the spiritual, not the physical. You understand that the physical things are just extras, while you're here in the matrix. Uh, you know, you'll be able to land on your feet better. You have a better understanding of who you are, your existence and why you are here. You won't just be floating around, from pillar to post. You'll be stable on your feet. You'll be grounded. Okay, you'll be within your frame. You'll be able to maintain the frame of you and harnessing your own energy and your own power. And this is what as I look at this Ace of Wands here, the depiction of this picture here, someone harnessing their own power, tapping into their inner niggle, their inner wiggle, knowing their self-worth. We have so much noise around us that, we are constantly distracted from going within. You have people telling you every moment what you need to buy. Something's going to happen to you. You need to come do this. You need to do that, or this is going to happen. Purchase this, purchase that, instead of just basking in the harmony and the love of yourself, okay? Because there is not a thing or an item that can really give you genuine, pure love. There are circumstances and events that happens in life that will make you forget about every material item you've ever purchased, okay? There are events in life that can occur that will make you forget about every material item you ever purchased. Let that marinate, okay? We ain't gonna go in that pocket, okay? So, yeah. So Spirit is saying clearly, enjoy life. Enjoy life. Love you, love all of you. And feel free to be you. Feel free to be you. Fly like a bird. I don't know what that is. Fly like a bird. Someone needs to flap their wings. That message is. Mm-hmm. If this video resonates, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm pretty sure you'll love the vibe. All contributions are highly appreciated, okay? There may be someone else who needs to hear this message, who needs to be inspired. You giving a thumbs up will get it into the algorithm, and others will be able to experience this message and being inspired as well, okay? All right, there's enough space in this place for everyone to be notified. The next card that we have is the Knight of Pentacles. And so this Knight of Pentacles energy here is someone who's building for the long haul, longevity. The Knight of Pentacles here, you see as this person is walking away, you see the pentacles and the horses right behind them following is dropping. Okay, so that to me represents infinity. It represents beyond, represents extra, okay? Expansion, hard work, steadfast, When you're doing what you're passionate about, something that makes you happy, the money will come naturally. That's not something you have to really hyper focus on. We understand that money is necessary here in the matrix, but you don't have to be hyper focused so much to a point where, you have anxiety about it, you're stressed about it. When you're doing what you love, when you're walking in your purpose, it will come naturally and you will be provided for. If you don't see the money right away, one way or another, you must trust to know you will be provided for, okay? You never know where your gold lies. You never know. You don't know I mean, it could be a total stranger who could, offer you information, resources, a helping hand. You just never know. And that's why it's a good idea to tread lightly, to practice mindful activity, going within, pouring into yourself. Make sure you're prioritizing, doing the best that you can, doing what you're supposed to do, and not letting anyone waver you from that. Being mindful of the seeds that you plant so that you will have a harvest. It's okay to build, it's okay to save, it's okay to create an extra stream of income. There's nothing wrong with that. But Spirit is saying, be mindful after you've been given your dose of truth. Be mindful of going back into this cycle, back into the pattern, of being under the illusion, of what's real and what isn't. You do not have to put yourself in debt to have a particular wardrobe. You do not have to purchase certain items and try to divine. Okay, the divine said, and define your self value or your self worth. And so that's what they're saying. You've been given the truth. So do not allow anyone or anything to make you feel like you have to put yourself in debt, from purchasing things that, that are above your budget, and also you're being overcharged for, and you're finding out that it's not real. You're finding out the truth of these things. Not just with clothing, with a lot of things. Spirit is saying it's all been revealed. It's on the table, so, okay, work smarter, not harder. That's for someone. Work smarter, not harder. So maybe I'm picking up that energy there is for someone needing to, you can have a large family, okay? Maybe you have a beautiful large family. There's nothing wrong with it. That is a signal for someone to do research. When you are looking for certain things to purchase that is necessary for your family, don't just buy the first thing you see. Whether you have to look online or ask someone where the sales are. I'm picking up on someone who has a large family, okay? Maybe you have 4 or 5 children or more. They're saying do research. There is discounts out there for you. Basically, ways you can save money instead of just, okay, I'm going to just buy what I see. No, they're saying slow down and do research, okay? So that you don't be in the energy of, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, in a pinch, trying to make ends meet, trying to stretch it out, trying to please everyone, okay? It happens. All are welcome on this channel, okay? And everyone is from different lives, different backgrounds. We all have different lifestyles, okay? And we're supposed to, respectfully so. That's in a whole nother video. Karmically speaking, spiritually speaking, we're here to learn. There's many reasons why we are different, that we are all uniquely, individually, divinely created. There's many reasons. But continue to beat your own drum. Move to your own rhythm and have no guilt about it. You don't need to apologize about it, okay? You don't need to apologize about it. That's just like reading tarot. People read cards the way they want to read cards. Okay, you follow tradition, the next person doesn't. And guess what? That's okay. That's a good example. Everyone is different. They're supposed to be different. We're supposed to distribute messages differently. We are all working with different spirit guides and different energies. So if you're, there is no pattern, but those who have that box mentality, that one way to do everything, that is those who are under major programming, they have been programmed and they feel like everything can be and should be done one way, but that's far from the truth. And that's okay, but people will move how they want to move, and that's with anything. A hairstylist is another good example. A person could come to you, ask for a hairstyle. They may sit in your chair and say, well, this is what I want, but don't do it like this. The other stylist did it like this. Well, just because the other stylist did it different doesn't mean you're not going to get the same style. That stylist may have a method you have not seen. Doesn't mean it won't be accomplished. We're supposed to be different. So keep being you. And you can still accomplish your goals. You have nothing to prove to these people outside of you. Let people snare. Let them talk their ish. Let them gossip. Let them lie. Because guess what? They have to deal with all that. Okay? There's no need for you to sit and wonder or worry or be upset. Enjoy your life. Respect yourself. Respect others, of course. Okay? But you don't need to be in this energy. The goal is people try to I call it gossiping out loud. They'll try to speak loud where I'm picking up on someone could possibly collectively speaking loud where you can hear them. This could be at work, this could be a neighbor, this could be maybe a family member, maybe you're like at a gathering or something. I'm picking up on someone speaking loud so you can hear them on purpose. That's infantile behavior. Spirit is saying ignore that. They want your attention. They want your attention because they want to try to provoke some kind of energy to have you in this energy here. They want you sad and mad. And it looks like you're not. That's what it looks like. You're constantly showing up as yourself and you're not. And instead of you being in this energy, they're in this energy and it's peeing them off. So continue to be you. Okay, that's for a portion of people. Continue to be you. Okay, they want the Ten of Swords, but you keep turning in another direction and keep doing that. That's all there is to do. There's no need, because we assume and we are taught that noise is more powerful than silence. But I'm glad to break it to you. I ain't gonna say I hate to break it to you. I'm glad to break it to you. Noise is not powerful than silence. Silence is more powerful than noise. And so with this Ten of Swords here, I see you pivoting, turning your energy away, when those haters try to come and provoke pride or trigger you. Just don't engage, because there's someone who's trying to get your attention and they want it badly. So they'll speak loud so you can overhear what they're saying. Or this may even be someone maybe at work. Maybe you're getting your lunch and they're bumping you and, just infantile things are happening. Don't engage. Don't engage. It's just not worth it, Next time they try to bump, I will move out the way. They've been in trips and fail. I'm just saying, they trying to bump you, you're not there for them to bump. What else is going to happen? Okay. Or they're going to look like they doing the shoulder dance or something, or the shoulder lean. They're going to look like they're doing the shoulder lean. Yeah, never give them what they want. Okay. Especially if this is a person that you can't avoid. Don't engage with them. Don't be around them. Never give them what they want. The moment that you allow someone to trigger you or get you upset, where you're screaming, shouting, it leads to nothing. It lowers your vibration. It leads to nothing. And then it keeps you on that hamster wheel, keeps you on a spin cycle, a never-ending spin cycle of being angry and full of hostility. So just let people be people. And you must trust and know that everybody won't be for you. Yes. I'm going to post it. You're not for everyone and everyone is not for you. Okay. You're not for everyone. Everyone is not for you. Please and believe and respect that. Let this be. I'll set it here so you can see it. Let this energy be and respect it. Okay. You don't have to be verbal with everyone. It's best to be silent. Okay. Right now we have judgment. Okay. So there's a need for you to work on going within, and tapping into source, doing some meditation, some prayer, some grounding, some journaling, having some solitude, some time to yourself, but having less moments of getting upset. And also when you're out conducting business, that's for somebody, when you're out running errands or handling business with people, say what needs to be said and let it go. Don't allow when you're conducting business of people to make you upset. If the person behind the counter is not in agreement and they're not giving you what you want, guess what? Well, shouting with them, cursing them out and yelling is not going to make them approve and give you what you want. Most likely they'll either call security, maybe throw you out of the facility, and you'll end up with nothing. Okay, so whatever it is, whether you're in a store, a restaurant, I'm seeing someone at a bank, maybe something's going on with that. Go home and get on the phone with corporate, if you have to. Everyone, every business brand has a corporate behind them, a corporation. So, okay, now I'm here and talk to the people that sign the check. So maybe you went somewhere and someone tried to give you some lip. They're telling me to say that, and you'll know who this message is for. They're telling me to speak like that. Someone's giving you some lip, and they're saying for you to, when there's a complaint, you need to tone down your temperament. Because if you communicate and you're expressing with hostility, that is a reason for them to shut you down and not listen to you or assist you. They're saying stop talking to the small people. If you have a problem, you're conducting business with anyone, stop talking to the small people. Don't talk to the manager there, go over their head. Talk to the person that signs the check, okay? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because we have the Empress here. You know, the Empress is very wise, very resourceful, knows how to land on her feet, male or female, gender is fluid in tarot, but very influential, very nurturing, to the point people comes and may confide in the Empress about certain things that are occurring. You could be that person as well, where people come to you sharing what I am conveying in this message. I went to so and so today, and maybe it's your social worker. My worker gave me a problem and they said I ain't turned in my papers, or, I went on that interview and they were so mean to me, different things just occurring, maybe someone is trying to start a business or something. I'm picking up on someone who needs an inspection, a city inspection, and maybe you feel that they keep putting you on the end of the list, and you're like, "Look, I've been waiting a year," because you're ready to open up and you're excited. You're very enthusiastic about opening the doors and having your ribbon cutting ceremony. But before you can get your license, you need to pass inspection, and before you get inspection, you need one to show up. And maybe they keep pushing the date back. And you're like, "What is it? Somebody's playing with me? Something?" No, 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 no. Spirit is saying there's something else going on. Trust and know. Rejection is redirection and for your protection. But you will get that inspection. You will be able to get your license so that you can open your business or start your brand or business, whatever you're trying to do, whether it's real estate or any kind of business for that matter. But trust and know that there's many things going on, not just one thing. And it's for your highest good, okay? It's for your highest good. Maybe there's someone who needs to be moved out the way. Maybe there's someone working at that entity that your ancestors don't want their signature on your paperwork. Maybe that person is preparing to retire or go on vacation, or it could be many things. Okay, it's like waiting for something to come in the mail, and we know. I give this analogy all the time. When you mail something, the postage goes through a process, so you have to be patient. It has to be delivered. It has to get sorted. It has to get stamped. It has to get scanned. There's a whole process. Then the mail carriers have to go to work, swipe in, get their batch. It's a whole procedure. They have routes to go on. They have certain ways they do their route. Then depending on who's working that day, you may not have your regular mailman. You might have a different mailman. So that's a good example. Spirit is saying, understand that there is everything has a process. There's not just you in the world when you are conducting your business or waiting for something, but there could be many reasons why something isn't happening instantaneously. Okay, that is for someone. But whatever you do, continue to be yourself, but be cool with that temperament. Be cool. Be cool, man. Just be cool, man. Rum. Be cool with it. Be cool with it. Okay. Healing, 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 intuition. Okay. Your source. Okay. It's saying be cool with it. Just cool. Just be still for a moment. Be still for a moment. If you have to pause and do some deep breaths in through the mouth, no, excuse me, in through the nose, out through the mouth, hold for 3 to 4 seconds, be still and do that. You can do that in your car, in the bathroom, wherever, if you feel it is getting there. They do not want you in the energy of the Nine of Swords because of what is happening outside and around you. Outside and around you. They do not want you in this energy feeling depleted because it's all an illusion. They want to balance out as much as this darkness. They want to bring more light into the situation so that you can shift your perception and understand who you are, your true value, your true worth. It's okay to be you. Don't dim your light for anyone. But when things aren't going your way, don't become upset or distraught. And don't go into the stinking thinking of, I guess it ain't gonna never happen. No, it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. And it's for your highest good. Collective, you've heard it before, but I got to remind you, your spirit team can see in spaces and places that you are not privy to. And they know things that you are not aware of. They've heard conversations that you are not privy to hear. Maybe they've been trying to convey it through your dream state when you're astral traveling, but it's for your protection. They know something that you don't know. Maybe they want someone moved out the way. Like I just said, there could be an entity that you're doing business with. It could be any kind of store, an office, anything. And maybe they're waiting to someone, I don't know, retirement. I don't know. Maybe somebody's about to retire immediately, or maybe someone is getting terminated, or maybe someone is quitting their job, or maybe someone has a vacation coming up and you're waiting on documentation to come through. Maybe they don't want their signature on your paperwork. There's many layers to why things occur. So the next time you're in a situation and you feel that there's some resistance going on, they want you not to become upset. They want you to be still. Just like I let that card go and let it go and surrender. Surrender. Let it go, let it flow. It's all for you if you believe in having fun. Okay, it is all for you. And the more you surrender when things don't go your way, or you hear people trying to gossip or slander or provoke you, the more you tune them out and focus on you, focus on the love, focus on being grateful, the more abundance and happiness and bliss will appear in your life. It will arrive because you will be sending out the signal that you have learned the lesson and you are in a position to receive what is for you, that you're not spiritually disheveled, you're not emotionally disheveled, and you're ready to maintain and obtain what is for you. So this concludes the read. I trust and hope it assists you for your highest good. Later.